Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
And welcome to our vlog. You join us on a...
Well, it's dry today. Yesterday was cold and miserable and wet. It's still a bit cool today. It's very overcast, but it's dry. And that's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
Yep.
So what are we talking about today? If you're new to our channel, my name's Pat.
I'm Eileen.
And we are...
a Narrowboat Quest.
And we travel the inland waterways of England.
And Wales.
And we look for places to have coffee and places to have...
Well, coffee and cake. Cake.
Yeah, we look for nature and history and all things canals and narrowboats.
Yeah. So in this video, we travel from Hardwater Mill on the River Nene to the lovely mooring at Western Favell.
Yeah, and what a beautiful mooring that was.
It is. That's opposite the Northampton Washlands, which is a lovely nature reserve and famous for its wetland birds. So really important part of the country.
Yeah, lovely, absolutely gorgeous. Sorry we didn't make a video last week, but I've been so busy doing all sorts of jobs in the boat because we haven't been around for quite a while. The jobs have just mounted up, haven't they?
Yeah, where we've been off the boat for probably the last 18 months or so, a lot of the maintenance things have built up, and we've needed to do a few bits and pieces on the boat. Plus we've fitted some new solar panels, and Pat made up some boxes to go on the roof.
Yeah.
The solar panels.
Yeah.
Because we're going back out. We will be leaving the marina shortly.
Yeah.
And going back out continuously cruising.
Yeah. So that should be good.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave the marina after we've been to the Crick Show. We'll be going to the Crick Show on the Saturday, on the 25th of May, and this is our first Crick Show in 6 years. The last one we went was 6 years ago, and that was before we were vlogging. So
yeah.
So it'd be interesting, and if you see us and watch our vlogs,
come along and say hello.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody that supports our channel.
We love to read your comments.
Read the comments down below. We would love to know what you, the viewers, like and what content you'd like us to do. You know, things like more nature, more history, those sort of things.
I mean, we already do a bit of cruising, a bit of history, a bit of nature. And off the cut videos, you know, places we visit. If you want anything different, or you like what we do, then
just let us know in the comments below. Okay, so we better get on with this video then.
Yeah. So let's get on with it.
So bye for now.
It's quite a nice sunrise first thing. Yes, as Pat's just pointing out, it's one of our favourite moorings. Should have got up and filmed it first thing, shouldn't I? But yeah, that's one of our favourite moorings, that one. It's 7:15 and we're on our way. Want to really be moored up by midday, which we should be.
How many locks?
6 locks, 6 miles, and about 4 hours cruising today. Well, we're just approaching our first lock of the day. This is Earls Barton lock, and we're hoping that we're going to get through this one okay, because on the way up here we got stuck in it. Had to have EA come out because there was an electrical fault and we couldn't open the guillotine gate. So we sat in the lock for 2 hours until they came and set us free. Not sure whether you can see that, but there's a couple of swans in here. We tried to shoo them out earlier, but they wouldn't have it. So we're just opening the gates gently so that they don't get too traumatised. But they float. darling. Just wait, be patient. We'll get there. Oh, there you go. And off they go. Oh, and there's our feathered friends who were stuck in the lock with us. Oh, I wonder if they're looking for their family. Hey, is that better? Because we couldn't see the entrance to the lock, we couldn't see which side the ladder was, so I jumped off here at these steps, only to find that the gate at the top is padlocked. So I had to scramble over the gate and the fence. Still, never mind, it's done now. We are in the lock. The gate, the guillotine is closed, and Pat's just waiting for me to open the paddles, which I'll do now. This is White Mill's lock. It's right next to White Mill's Marina. They have some bankside moorings just outside the marina there. And we went into the marina for a couple of nights last year, July time, and had visitors to our boat. My sister and her husband came to stay for a couple of nights, and they have a nice cafe in White Mill's Marina. There is lots of weed here. You can see where people have oiked it out, pulled it out of the river, and there's lots there. So probably the gate's not going to open very well unless I hoik some more out. And Pat was eyeing up that antenna that's on that boat.
Yeah, he is an amateur. You can see the 77, 277 white thing.
Yep, so he's obviously an amateur.
He's an amateur. And radio operator.
Yeah. And I wonder whether the cygnets that we let out the lock belong to this family, because they've got cygnets of a similar size, haven't they? I wonder. Poor ducks wading through that weed. We've come through the lock. Pat's just pulling up at the lock landing. I'm just emptying the lock here. And look at that view, it's lovely, isn't it? It's not too shabby at all. Still quite a lot of cloud, but it seems to be clearing a little bit this end. Still very dark over the other, a bit further over, but it looks like it's clearing a bit here. That's why there's two signs. Well, we're coming into Cogenhoe, and we'll be approaching Cogenhoe Lock very shortly. Nearly 9 o'clock now. And just ahead is Cogenhoe Lock. We're in Cogenhoe Lock, and there's a caravan site right next to the river here. And lovely views across the valley there. The sheep were right next to the lock when we arrived, but they soon run off when Pat spoke to them. Had to get Pat to help me open the gate because this one's overflowing, the guillotine gate. So the river levels are quite high because we had quite a lot of rain yesterday. So yeah, the gate was pretty heavy. Pat's just mooring up on the lock landing. And I'll close the gate and open up the guillotine one. It's warming up now. The sun's coming out. Wind is still a bit cool, but it's getting better. It's supposed to be 20 degrees today. Yeah. We wild moored here on this section. On the way up, just this straight bit of bank with no weed. We stopped here and wild moored. I think it's the first time we wild moored. Yeah, we did. The lock, I think, is just around the corner. That is the entrance to Billing Marina. Down there.
The entrance to the marina.
Yeah. Looks like there's a boat moored up on the lock landing there. Doesn't make it very easy for everyone else, does it? So we won't be stopping at the lock landing, we'll go straight in.
I knew you was going to do that. You was waiting for that, weren't you? You was just waiting for that.
So what happened at that lock?
Take your hand away from the microphone.
So what happened at that lock? We approached it and there was a boat on the lock landing, wasn't there?
On the lock landing. Obviously been moored there and probably been there a few days probably, but may have been broken down or whatever, but nevertheless it was on the lock landing, which isn't a major problem because we can climb up the ladder in the lock. But then some lovely fishermen come along this morning and with their big chairs and all their gear and all the rest. Morning, yeah, morning. And they went on the other bit of the lock landing that was free for you to be able to get to when you
If you wanted to.
needed to.
Yeah. So they
Don't get it, don't understand it. Their own personal little spot, isn't it? Probably.
Yeah.
I suppose if they move when somebody comes along, it's not so bad, but I think it's just inconsiderate to use
all the signs say no fishing.
Yeah, but people don't listen to signs. People
No.
ignore signs, and you know, what can you say? It didn't affect us, so we shouldn't be moaning about it.
No, didn't affect us at all. But it might affect somebody else.
But it might do.
And there's caravan site this end of the lock as well.
Yeah.
And the caravans go on and on and on. That's a big site. And I think we're coming up to the next lock, which is Clifford Hill lock. That used to be a Friends of the River Nene site, and it's labelled as such in the book, but it no longer is. We tried to moor there on the way up and then realised it was discontinued Friends of the River Nene site, so just had some lunch and came away. And then a keep left sign here. with the lock ahead, and we're hoping to moor up just the other side of that lock if there's free moorings. If there's mooring available. I was just closing the gates and another boat came along. So, no, I was just opening the gates and another boat came along. So,
Another boat there with the gate in front.
yeah. So they'll finish it off. We've come through, there's a floodgate there that's closed in times of flooding, and it's very windy here. So we're hoping to get into this space over here. We moor on the environmental agency Western Favell flood moorings opposite the Northampton Washlands. The Washlands reservoirs are storage lakes and can hold up to 500 million gallons of water. The area has become a nature reserve and an important refuge in the Nene Valley for wetland birds because it is so large and very open.